out of which 95 are essential manufacturing inputs, which are not locally available. That is, 6 out of these 95 items were recently readmitted into the official forex market. I think we need to give a round of applause to government for this. Your Excellency, these are credible actions that we believe will re-envision and improve the industrial landscape if managed with consistency and focus. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am sure that most of us here are abreast of the performance of the Nigerian economy. It is gladdening that the economy is improving. According to economic indicators released recently by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, which show that the economy is rebounding. We pray that this will be inclusive and sustainable. Challenges of the manufacturing sector. I believe that we are all familiar with the challenges confronting the manufacturing sector, and man advocacies at addressing them. I will therefore not dwell on them. We are, however, grateful that the federal government is taking concrete steps to address them. Permit me to make a few comments, though. I think basically 3 comments. Firstly, the issue of power should be given top priority. As we all know that without adequate and stable power, economic and social development will only be a mirage. Secondly, the issue of foreign exchange for the importation of essential manufacturing inputs is equally important. But if we tenaciously drive the resource-based industrialization program, this can be overcome. And thirdly, and finally, I can safely say that no nation has recorded significant economic development with unrestrained high interest rates. The case of Nigeria will not be different. With the prevailing double-digit interest rates, the Nigerian economy will continue to suffer decline. Therefore, we recommend, as the association has always done in the past and continue to do, a single-digit interest rate. In fact, we're saying 5%. The aforementioned are critical issues that must be addressed if we want to be reckoned in the Committee of Nations as an industrialized country. EU ECOWAS Economic Partnership Agreement, the almighty EPA. Permit me, Your Excellency, to reiterate the position of man on this subject. Man has made his position clear on the need to reject the above proposal. And we appreciate the federal government for agreeing with our position. We appeal that the government will maintain its stand because of the anticipated destructive impact the EPA would have on the Nigerian economy. Man sees the proposed admission of Morocco into ECOWAS as equivalent to signing the EPA through the back door. We therefore urge the federal government to vehemently oppose the move, as it will spell due to the productive sector of the Nigerian economy.
That's the president of the Manufacturers Association of Frank Jacobs, speaking to the state of the manufacturing industry. Of course, that will be part of the major considerations, and everyone is putting all this together. But manufacturing is also part of the entire conversations around the European partnership agreement called the EPA that the European Union has asked Nigeria and other countries to sign. 16 countries in West Africa. Just about 2 or 3 countries have signed. Nigeria has refused to sign this agreement, and almost everyone says it's not in Nigeria's best interest. We're going to hear from the former president of Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa, who was in Lagos on Thursday, and what are his thoughts all the way from the eastern part of the continent on what they're looking at, what this should be, not just for West Africa, but for African countries as a whole, and why the EPA is not in the best interest of the African continent. These are some of the stories that will affect domestic manufacturing across the continent and foreign trade. We'll talk about that. But don't forget the consumer price inflation data is out 16.01%. This is a little bit of comfort, but not so comfortable if you look at the food inflation. That is still very sticky to the north. Food price inflation, 20.25% year-on-year in August, despite the marginal slowdown of 0.03 percentage points from the July figure of 20.28%. That is the devil in the details of inflation, as it were, and why some folks think that the GDP, that they can't eat the GDP yet. You can't eat it because food price inflation is really, really sticky to the north. We'll come back after the break, then we'll take the reactions or the views of the Tanzanian former president, Benjamin Mkapa, who was a guest here at the manufacturers' annual meetings yesterday. Let's take a listen to him when we return.